Hello Flosstube, my name is Charlotte and this is my channel Clue Cross Stitching. As you can probably tell from the title of my channel, this is going to be a video on cross stitching. There will be a few other things like life updates and that. Generally I will go off on a tangent at some point. Thank you for joining me. If you are new or returning, thank you very much for tuning in. With my last few videos, they've generally been about an hour long, so grab a drink, grab your stitching, grab some snacks, and let's go on with it. I don't normally drink tea when I'm in the house. It's normally just at work, but I do actually have a cup of tea with me today. Obviously I'm still working from home at the moment, full time, so I have been very fortunate that I've been able to do that. So where I have been working at home, I have been making myself tea, so it's now I drink tea at home. So I'll try not to slurp because I know that can irritate people, but this is my mug. My very cute owl, Hedwig Harry Potter mug, and it is Hedwig as it says on there. He actually comes with a lid. I got this for Christmas a couple of years ago from my sister. She got it for me and it comes with a lid. I'm not entirely sure why. Thought it was quite nifty and it holds quite a nice amount of tea. So he is very cute. So that gets into the life update. Yes, still working from home. Very rarely go out. Once a week to do the shop, and then once a week to go into the office and collect any clients' records. So, the last few weeks it has been quite busy. I think since about mid-May, it got quite, generally the end of the month, beginning of the next month is my busiest time with the VAT returns, because that's when they need to be submitted. So between probably about mid-May up to last weekend, I was working non-stop 7 days a week. So this is actually my first day where I haven't turned on the computer to do some work. So it was the first day I could actually have a lie-in, and do you know what time I was up this morning? 7. Daryl went off to work because he's still working. He works 6 days a week. He got up to go to work. Thought, oh, I can go back to sleep, drift back off. No, couldn't go back to sleep. So thought I'd get up, do a bit of housework and record my video, because it has been probably about 2 months since my last one. So I do apologise for that delay, but I just couldn't help it, unfortunately. So what else has happened in the last couple of months? There's not really a lot. Staying home, working, shopping. I did buy a new top, which is unusual for me because I don't normally buy clothes unless I need to. But I did buy this. Stop touching your face. I did buy a new top. It is an Edge Wrestling WWE Superstar top. because yes, I am still obsessed, and I'm wearing it now, so you can't see. I'm not tape. There we go. That's my new top, and I love it so much, and it's actually a little bit big, so I probably could have sized down with it. So there may be a second top that I buy soon in the next size down, and they've actually released a second women's vest top, tank top style thing, because I can't wear just normal t-shirts that are too close to my throat. I can't, I feel restricted, so it has to be lower. And normally all these wrestling tops are all crew necks, I think that's what it's called, and they're right up there, so it feels like choking. I can't handle that. Stop touching your face. So that's my new edge top. It wasn't my only edge purchase, but we'll get into that later. What else did we do? Obviously it's been where I've not been able to see the family. We haven't been able to see the dogs because obviously with my parents, my sister, and occasionally my mum will send us pictures of them, which is always very welcomed. I love getting pictures of the dogs. But last week they sort of gave it a little bit more leeway with the current, obviously, coronavirus, COVID-19 situation. They relaxed the restrictions a little bit, so you could meet in a private garden or in a park as long as you were 2 meters away. You could do that. So we went round Mum's. They have a back entrance to the back garden, so we went into the back garden. We stayed 2 meters away, so we were actually able to sit and play with the dogs, take them out for a walk, so that was really nice. It got us a bit of exercise and we were able to see them. They were so excited because they hadn't seen us for a long time. 2.5, 3 months. So they were very excited. Very excited. Actually, I'm not entirely sure who was more excited, Daryl or Lexi. So that's pretty much it. We've been, us and like the local stitchers, we video chat about once a week, so we can stitch and chat and have a catch up, because I am really missing our usual fortnightly meetups. So we get rid of this whole virus enough that it's not a problem anymore, and then we can meet up. Not before at all. Anyway, so that was life update. I'm going to do a few shout outs now, because I think in my last video a couple of the locals that we've been pestering to do floss tubes that have done them now, so that's amazing. Obviously I mentioned that Natalie had made started making her video. She's now up to 4. She is Natalie Love It, Live It, Make It Yours on Flosstube and on Instagram. I'm a little bit behind because of work. Obviously I didn't have time to watch, so I think I've watched her first 2, so I still got to watch her last 2, her most recent. Then Jen's done one. I think she uploaded her first one a couple of days after I did my last Flosstube, so I wasn't able to shout her out, but she's done hers. She's done her first one, or she's actually up to 3 now, and she's not cross gen. Amazing. I think I've seen her first 2, haven't seen her latest one, so I do need to catch up with them. And you get to see her kittens, and her cats. You get to see her cats in her video, so check her out, check that out. Then we've got Louise Angelic Minxie Moo. She's uploaded 3 videos. I think her last one got uploaded yesterday, so again, still need to watch hers. I really hope that we get to see into her box of shame, because she has a box of shame of all the things that she's finished that she's not fully finished. So I hope, Lou, we get to see at least a little bit of the box of shame. Okay. Then we've got Claire D, who is Stitching Poppy. She is flying with these videos. She's got 8 up already. Her first video was a whip parade, and I couldn't actually believe at how many whips she had. None of us thought that she had that many, and they're not small. They are all BAPs. They are all huge projects. Just, it blew my mind. She's a quick stitcher. She stitches some beautiful things, but we didn't realise how many BAPs she had. And then there is Claire, who is Claire Seaside Stitcher, who's been doing Flosstube for longer than me, 4 years, maybe. Oh, but I love her Flosstubes. They're absolutely amazing, and she has kittens. She does have kittens, and they're absolutely adorable. Absolutely adorable. So check her out. And she has quite a few BAPs on the go as well. And she's such a quick stitcher. Such a quick stitcher. Absolutely amazing. All these ladies are amazing. So check them all out. I will link their channels below. So they're all my inner circle. That's what I now call my ladies. I've not told them this. If they watch this, then they will understand, but they are now my inner circle. Inner circle. This is what Daryl started calling them, because of, it goes back to wrestling, not the WWE, but AEW. They have like a group of wrestlers run by Chris Jericho, and they're called the Inner Circle, and they're really close knit, and they're all a real good bunch of friends and that. So Daryl has started calling my ladies, my girls, my inner circle. So that's what I now call them. It will be, a message will come up and ba-ding on my phone, and he'll go, oh, is that your inner circle again? No, it's always my inner circle, because I love them ladies so much. Anyway, so they're my inner circle ladies that have done Flosstubes. Then there's a couple of other ones that I've started watching recently. I don't know if they're new to Flosstube, but they're ones that I've just discovered. So there's Nadine Nad's X Stitch. She is actually part of the Myth and Magic Stitch Wars as well. She's got some lovely projects on the go. And there's also Worldwide Stitcher. She is new. I think she's done like 3 Flosstubes. She's a local as well, but not met her, but she's got some amazing projects. She has quite a few of, in her latest video, she's back to her parents' house, so she's got a lot more of her projects that she was able to show in a whip parade, and she's got some of the Disney Dreams, the Thomas Kincaid projects, and they're amazing, they're beautiful, so check her out. I've also started watching Vale the Stitcher. She also has an Etsy store. Again, I'll link that below. And this one is thanks to Jen and I think Claire D, and that's Rolodex Stitches. I don't know why I haven't watched her before, but she is hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And Rolodex actually shouted out Jen on one of her videos, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. So there, well, in the last couple of days I've started to re-watch on that. I've been subscribed for a while, but obviously I haven't had time to watch them much, so now it's just, I've got over, I think, 300 videos on my watch later to catch up on. Not all of them are cross stitch, but I think about 2/3 of them are. The other third is a wrestling podcast that you're probably not interested in, that me and Daryl listen to. So, right, I don't know actually how long I have been waffling without actually showing you any cross stitch. So let's get into that. We will start with my finishes, because I do have 2 finishes. They were all finished early May. So my first finish is my chicken sow. That is going to be a Christmas present for my work colleague Pauline. It's finished, it's not fully finished, it's not been washed, it's not been ironed, so I've still got to do that. But there is something that won't happen yet. Hopefully closer to Christmas I can fully finish all the Christmas gifts that I get done and that, because there is something exciting happening that I'm not going to tell you about, because I don't want to jinx it. My inner circle know what it is. Let's just say I'm super excited and I can't wait for it all to just get settled. So, moving on. My first finish is my chicken sow by KLT Charting. The last time you saw it, I'd done the first 3 releases, and I think I'd done the outline for the 4th, if I remember correctly. There will be a picture at some point so you can see, but this one has now been finished, and there we go. My first finished, obviously, if you remember, these are all etoile threads. I don't know if you can see, probably not, maybe a little bit. Probably red. No, you can see it in real life, it's just that it doesn't pick up very well on the camera. These are all DMC etoile. Except for obviously the border, which is a DMC variations. This is stitched on a 20 count white Ada that I got from KLT Charting. Obviously I've got quite a bit at the bottom left over, so I don't know what I can do on that, but I'm sure I can find something. So, yes, so I've started tracking what days I work on what, using a good old Excel spreadsheet because I love Excel. But I started tracking it from the 1st of May. So in May I worked on 3 days worth on that, and that got finished. I don't know how many I worked on in April, but Myth and Magic Stitch Wars helped me a lot to get that done, because then round 6 the hunters were playing again, so had to do quite a bit of stitching for that, and that helped get that finished. My second finish was again thanks to Myth and Magic Stitch Wars. There was a day that I don't know where my phone is. We'd been hit. The hunters had been hit quite badly. And we had to stitch a lot to get materials to heal. We didn't know, we were hoping that we were going to be able to heal in time so we could get back onto it. And yeah, we did. We managed to get it, which was amazing. I was stitching my fingers off, literally burning, and I beat my all-time stitch record for the day. I think before, my record for one day was 1,200 and something. This day I got up, I think 7 o'clock in the morning. I was stitching all the way through to like 11 o'clock at night. I managed to stitch 2,171 stitches in that time period, which I was quite proud of myself. And with that, and I think one more day, I was able to finish my Kaleidoscope Dragon. Again, I will hopefully put up a picture of where you last saw it. I know I hadn't finished the head or the front half of his body, but now he is done, and there he is. This is stitched on 14 count white Ada, and I got it as a kit from KLT Charting. See, like that, the coverage doesn't look that bad, because I don't like, if you've watched me for a while, you will know that I don't like 14 count Ada. But then you get closer and I just feel like you can see too much white behind it, but from a distance you can't really tell. Now, in all honesty, because of the count of the fabric and all that, I wasn't really enjoying stitching this until I got to the front half of it. When I was stitching that day, I really got into it, and I was stitching on his front half. I was stitching up, I'd finished that, and now I was working on his head, and I started to really enjoy stitching him. So the plan is to stitch him again on a lower count fabric, mostly because this one, I don't know how I'm going to fully finish it, but it will be fully finished and then sold on one of our Meningitis Now charity stalls that we do, so it will go to raise money for Meningitis Now. So that was my second finish. that's all the finishes that I've had. We will move into whips, which including the two that I've worked on, that I've finished. Sorry, I'm looking down, I got my notes. I worked on 9 projects in the last 2 months. Oh, actually, no, we're going to go on new starts, because I had 2 finishes and I'd got my whip pile down to, I think it was about 12. So I was quite proud, because it was the unofficial race to see who could get down to 10 projects. I don't know who's winning, because it's definitely not me, because I had 4 new starts. So I'm back up to 16. Yeah. Don't tear it out. He thinks I'm still down. He thinks I'm getting down to 10. So, right, new starts. Let's get on with new starts. Not you. There we go. My first new start is one that is an unofficial SAO with Kim, KLT Charting, and I think a couple of other people started this type of chart. I don't know if they're part of the SAO. It should be. I'm unofficially making them. Because our friend Jo, who gave me the mason jar kit, she has actually started and finished one of these, and it's absolutely amazing. Such a quick stitcher, and her stitching is beautiful. So this is a full coverage chart, and I love them so much, and they just come out so well. So my first new start was Giraffes at Sunset by KLT Charting, and I haven't got very far with it, and that's as far as I've got. And there's three different colours in there, and I am loving stitching this. I really am. So that will go, I think, all the way over there. Part of this down here, I think, is black. Is going to be black, and it's the tree. There's my giraffe needle minder, because you have to match it. And I think it will go down to about there. And then this bottom piece, I am going to start lions at sunset. So I'm going to have 2 on the same piece of fabric. So that's my start on that. I love these sunset ones. She's done obviously the giraffes, she's done lions, and that she's also doing like towns, cities, silhouettes. So she's done Portsmouth at sunset, because obviously KLT is based in Portsmouth. Portsmouth is the local city. Southampton, again, it's a local city, and then a couple of other ones that have been requested. So I think there's a Brighton one, which I'm tempted to do, and maybe insert somewhere a shoe, because obviously Irregular Choice is in Brighton. And I think the other one was Athens at sunset. So these are amazing. Kim has started one of these. I think she started Portsmouth at sunset, and she's flying through it. absolutely flying through it. It's nice big blocks of colour that are easy to count when you're doing a challenge that needs you to count your stitches. So, first new start. That was started on the 4th of May. Then my next start was the 9th of May, and this is absolutely pitiful. It's a pitiful new start. This one is, I started this one with Claire Seaside Stitcher, and it is the Heaven and Earth map. Heaven and Earth, Middle Earth map. So, yeah, I'm not going to unravel the whole thing because I've only started it in one corner, and that is as far as I've got. With it. And I am parking. It's only literally 3 threads, but I am trying parking for the first time. So, oh, I did my nails. I'm a proper girly. I did my nails Thursday, and then I went to pick up Daryl from work. So I get in the car, I drive down the road, and I could hear, and my car felt funny. I was just like, oh, crap. That sounds like a flat tyre. So I pull up, get out, yeah, flat tyre. Massive screw in my tyre. Bugger. So, thankfully I had a little portable air pump in the boot that I was given. So that plugs into the little charger in the car. So I'm sat, because it's only a small one, it's not a high powered one. It took like 15 minutes to pump up my tyre enough so I could drive it back round and park it up. Because at this time it's like 6 o'clock, so none of the garages are open. And this little thing, oh my god, it was making so much noise. I had somebody, because I'd parked outside somebody's house in a residential area, they actually came out of their house to see what this noise was, because it was very loud, and I was just like, sorry, got a flat tyre. And like half an hour before, I'd just finished painting my nails, so I was like, ah. This is why I don't paint my nails, because I don't do that. So my hands were dirty, they were grubby, but I didn't chip my nails. They're actually, considering I did it Thursday and it's now Saturday, normally I chip them within, let's try not to, 12 hours. 12 to 24 hours, normally my nails are chipped. But these aren't. They've lasted 2 days so far, and they're not chipped. I don't really want this colour, but it was the only colour that I could find. So, gold nails. Anyway, see, tangent of me pumping up a tyre in the middle of the road. Get stared at by people. There's not a lot I can do. I wasn't prepared to drive it back round on a flat. So, pumped up the tyre, drove it back round. Thankfully I'd literally just gone round one corner, so it wasn't that far. Parked it back up outside the house. Then yesterday morning, had to drive it to Quick Fit, just puncture repair it. Thankfully, the tyre was still pretty much fully pumped. So it's obviously a slow puncture. because I was able to get around there. And it was fine, it was safe, it was fine. Prof is now safe. He's fine. And it was thankfully just a puncture repair, not a brand new tyre. But yes, anyway, my pitiful start on my Middle-earth map. Claire, I started this with Claire Seaside Stitcher. She is flying through this. I know she's completed definitely one page. She may have even completed a second page. That's how quick she stitches. And in her video, she showed off her needle minder, her leaf needle minder, Leaf of Lothlorien, which I surprised her with. Seeing that we're stitching this together, I thought we should have matching needle minders, so because she messaged me. I'd pulled all my floss out for it, and because I got a lot of my floss from a charity shop, some of it is quite old. She's messaged me and she said that one of the numbers had been discontinued, or we couldn't get it over here, and it got replaced by 407. What number is it? I think it was 3773. We can't get over here, whether on it's been discontinued or we just can't get it over in this country, and it's been replaced by 407. Well, I found this thread, the 3773, in my stash. And I was like, oh, I'm fine with it, I'm fine, I've got some. It only takes like 150 stitches of this colour, so you don't need a whole skein of it. So I said, did you want some? You know, saves you using 407. She said, yes please. So I thought, I'm not going to use a whole skein of it, so I chopped off, I think, half, and I gave her the other half. But I thought that we're stitching this together, it would be nice that we had matching needle minders. So I already had my one, and I was waiting for the needle minder shop to come back online to buy it, because obviously with this whole pandemic she closed her shop temporarily, but she'd opened it, I think, early May. So as soon as that shop reopened, I was like, yeah, boom, bought it. So I bought that one, I waited for it to arrive. When it did arrive, I put it in, it came in a really nice just packaging box, so I put that and the thread in there, and as I was driving back from work one day, I just detoured, posted it through her letterbox, put a message in the chat, and I've got a present for you, surprise. And she opened it and she was so pleased, and now we are stitching the same project with matching needle minders, so which I am loving, and I really need to get back to it, because that was Map Bap Mania was what's supposed to have been. I do have one project that I worked on in May, because it was PJ and Z Mania. Early last year, Jen lost her cat PJ, so for Mania last year it was PJ Mania. Then later on in the year, Natalie lost her big furry fur baby Zelda. So for this year we made it Z Mania and incorporated PJ, so it was PJ and Z Mania. And last year PJ Mania was work on a full coverage, work on a cat, or work on something with yellow. This year for Z Mania it was work on cat, because Zelda was a cat. He was a big fluffy cat. It was adorable. A little bit mean, a little bit vicious, but he was adorable. So yeah, stitch on a cat, stitch on black, white, green or yellow, because obviously Zelda, he was a black and white cat, and the game Zelda has green and yellow. That is it green or yellow? Might have been green and pink. Pink, because I think Zelda had a pink nose. I feel like a really shit friend at the moment because I can't remember. And then work on a BAP. It's a big ass project because Zelda was a big ass cat. He was a very big fluffy cat. So I have a secret project that I am working on that I haven't shown anywhere, and I won't show until I've completely finished it, but it worked for Z-Mania for a few of the different prompts, so can't tell you, although you could probably guess. There was only a few prompts, but yes, until it has been gifted, that one won't be shown anywhere, not on Flosstube, not on Instagram, not nothing. So it's almost done. And then it will be gifted to said person. And she probably knows who she is because she's amazing and I love her so much. So anyway, moving on. My third new start was, because I finished the chickens, that is going to be a Christmas present for a work colleague. Thought, right, now I can work on my next one. I spun my wheel, because they're all on my wheel, of which one I should start next, and it came up with Nikki stocking. Now there's two Nickies that I work with. We've got, obviously, working accountants, we've got a tax Nikki and we've got a wages Nikki. This is wages Nikki. Thankfully they're spelt differently. Once. So, obviously I'll insert pictures of what the other pictures as well, but this one I actually have, it's because it's a hard copy chart, and it is Snow Dome Stocking, a design by Linda Gillum, and it's Kooler Classics chart. So that's what it will look like when it is done. She asked for something that is Christmassy, so I thought I'd do this. She collects snow globes, so I thought this matches in quite well. I'll do that. This is my start. This is my progress on that. As you can see, I've done the name. I've almost completely finished the first bauble, and I've started on the second. This cute little Santa. He's sat on a house snow globe. So the joy here will be backstitched, but I'm in two minds whether or not to backstitch the name up there. I'm not 100% sure on these animals, on what they are. Obviously I'm pretty sure that this one is a fox. That is a fox. I thought that was a rabbit, but now I'm thinking, because it's bigger than the fox, I'm thinking that one might be a deer. And that bottom one, I don't have a clue. I thought maybe it was like a raccoon, but now I'm thinking it might be an American badger. Because Dara showed me a picture of an American badger the other day, because he killed one on Red Dead. Oh yeah, he's killed a lot of animals on Red Dead. He completely unrelated to my stitching. He said, he just came in and he said, American badgers don't look like our badgers. Because where I'm in the UK, our badgers look different to their badgers. Our badgers, I think, are quite pretty because they're black and white and that. They're vicious. They can be vicious. I assume it would be the same for the American badgers. They're quite vicious, but they're more browns and that. So I'm thinking it's a badger, but I'm not 100% sure. If anybody knows what animal that is, that's probably better. So I've got a fox, a deer, and I'm assuming a badger. Anyway. Oh, you'll probably see that the name at the top isn't stitched the way it should be in the chart, the same colours. That's because I didn't really like the colours that it was that. So, and she's a pink person, she loves pink, so I thought I'd stitch it in pink etoile. Again, you can't see that it's pink. Oh, it is sparkly. You've probably noticed that the joy is supposed to be in blue, and in here it's quite green. That is the called for colour. That is the called for colour. And this chart is from 2018, so it's not like it's a really old chart that maybe the dye lots have changed on the DMC. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm not pulling it out. Mostly because I have made a lot of mistakes on this project so far. A lot of mistakes. I have frogged this project more than I have any other project that I have stitched on ever, and I'm not even that far into it. And I blame, obviously it's my fault, but I also blame the fact that it's a paper chart. It's not compatible with Pattern Keeper, and I now stitch all my patterns, all my projects using Pattern Keeper. It's just a lot, it's so much easier. And it's just, yeah. Once you go digital, you can't really go back. So it has been a little bit difficult for me. Right, this fabric is a 16 count Ada that I got in a charity shop for £5, and it's huge. So I can stitch, because I've got two stockings to do. I can stitch these stockings side by side, and it will be the right size, and I'll still have like half the fabric left. It is, because it did come from a charity shop, it is a little bit grubby, but I'm using all DMC threads, so I'm confident when I wash this there will be no run at all. Also, I have done one substitution on the thread. Most of the white you see in here, so these little snowflakes there, and this block of white there, and at the bottom there, is supposed to be a blended white and Krennic, however you pronounce it. I could not find this Krennic blending filament anywhere. It's out of stock everywhere. So I decided that I would use just DMC metallic or special. So I decided I would use that. It's called a little bit of language. There has been language in this, so I do apologise. It's called Devil's Arse Hair for a reason. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hate it. Hate it. With a passion. Absolutely hate it. I was working with short threads, and I was dropping the needle after I was doing every stitch, so it would unravel, so it was just laying it straight, and it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I did, so these 4 stitches here is this metallic thread. I decided that I tried first the blending, and I didn't really like it. You couldn't tell that it was sparkly, so I thought fine, I'll just do the metallic. So I ripped that out and just used, so I used 2 strands of the metallic. Horrible, absolutely horrible. So I'd done those 4, and then I moved down and I started to do this block down here. Oh my god, Daryl was playing his game and I was getting so angry. He could hear my frustration. He had headphones on and that, and he kept looking around going, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No." Effing hate this thread. Well then don't use it. But it's in the chart. Oh. And then I'd stitched it and I showed it to him and I went, "What do you think?" And he went, "Yeah, that's okay." And I went, "They're sparkly." And he went, "Are they?" So he got right up and he was just like, maybe. I was like, "You can't even tell they're sparkly." Well, what do I do then? It says it's sparkle. It's supposed to sparkle. What do I do? Well, I don't know. I'm not enjoying it. It didn't sparkle a lot. So I thought, so I ripped out the threads that I did there and I pulled out a DMC Etoile. And I thought that's pretty much the blended all over. And it looks like it's a little bit of a dirty white, but I can tell now that it has that bit of a sparkle, whereas I can't tell in those 4 up there that they are sparkly. Even in decent daylight, you just can't tell, whereas you can with the Etoile. So that's what I'm now doing. I've swapped that thread for an Etoile, so at least you can see a bit of a sparkle. And in the next stocking that I'm doing, if it again calls for this cry neck, I'm just going to swap it straight out for Etoile because I am not dealing with that arse hair anymore. No. I love Etoile. I really do. So maybe I should have substituted a couple of other colours out for it, but it's too late now. I'm not ripping it out. I ripped so much out of this. So, yes, if you have any ideas on whether or not I should backstitch the name, let me know. Can you tell it says Nikki? I think I can, but that's because I know that it says Nikki. And this Joy, I'll backstitch what it says it should be, so yeah. That's my start on that. I originally, this project has just been an absolute nightmare for me. I originally started it on 18 count. And I love 18 count. I think 18 count is my favourite fabric. This chart calls for quarter stitches, it calls for 3/4 stitches, it calls for half stitches. Doing 3/4 and quarter stitches on Ada is bad enough, but doing it on an 18 count Ada was absolutely horrendous. I could not do it. I could not do it. I started doing the top candy cane thing. I got probably about 3 reds in and I was just like, no, I can't deal with it. So I pulled that out. That was my first frogging experience. it had nothing to do with the chart, it was just the fabric. So I thought, great. What do? I don't have 16 count. As far as I was aware, I didn't have 16 count in my stash. So I was pulling it through. When I grabbed that fabric, I thought it was an 18 count. Oh, God. What do I do? So I was going to buy some from KLT Charting, but I didn't know how long it would take, and obviously it's now June and I've only done 1 and a bit out of, I think, the 7 that I need to do for Christmas, so I really need to up my game. So I got my ruler out and I double checked what count fabric this was, and it was 16. I thought, well, I'll give it a go. I'll try doing the 1/4 stitches and 3/4 stitches on it and see how I go. It's a lot easier on 16 count. I know it would be 100 times easier to do it on even weave, but I just don't like even weave. I do have, because the same time I got that piece of 16 count, I also got a huge piece of 32 count even weave, because I thought it was 28 count even weave and I was going to use it for a heaven and earth. It's 32 count, not 28 count, so I could still use it, but at the moment it's just under the bed because I don't know what to do with it. I'm sure I can find something. If not, I'll donate it back to the charity shop so they can sell it to somebody who actually wants it and that will use it. So yeah, so that was my 3rd new start. I started that on the 11th of May. I actually had 2 new starts on the 11th of May, and this one I'm really excited to show you, because I can actually show you because I haven't started the 3rd thing. I am model stitching the hot air balloon sow by KLT Charting. The first 2 have been released. It's a 10-part sow. The first 2 have been released. The next one will be released in a week and a bit. I haven't yet started the 3rd hot air balloon, so I can show you my progress on it so far, because these have been released. This is stitched on 18 count going fishing Ada, hand dyed by KLT Charting, and it's absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. So that is my first 2 hot air balloons on this absolutely amazing, beautiful fabric that looks like the sky and clouds, and it's just perfect, absolutely perfect. So, as I said, this is a 10-part sow, so we will have 5 in the top, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another line of 5 down here. We know that there is going to be at least 1 blackwork hot air balloon. There may be more, there may not be more. You'll have to wait to find out. So, I'm stitching them all in variegated thread because I just love how that's coming out. The first one is stitched with, get notes up, DMC Variations 4050, which is that one, and then the second one is stitched on with DMC Variations 4211. So now that I've shown you this, I will start on the 3rd release and hopefully get ahead of myself with that. this one has my new needle minder. I've got a few new needle minders. And this is my favourite all-time needle minder. To go on my all-time favourite. I've said before that I loved stitching on a project. And I meant it at the time. But actually stitching this, I have not loved stitching on a project more than I have on this one. I don't know what it is, but I am absolutely loving it. If it wasn't for the fact that I had other things that had a deadline to stitch, I would be stitching on this one non-stop. I already have plans of restitching it with DMC Etoile. I love it that much. Absolutely love it that much. So the blue is a little bit darker. In person, but it's still very beautiful fabric. So yes, this is my new needle minder, and it's edge glare. It's edge, and I love it. Edge to go with edge, and I love it so much it swaps between the projects, but it mostly stays on my hot air balloons, and I am gonna buy more. I am gonna buy more of him. I don't care if I have like 6 duplicates of him. I want so many. I got that from Lisa, No More Lost Needles. I also brought, because no needle minder can travel alone, I did buy, I think it was 5 in total. I brought edge, I brought 2 B1s, matching B1s, one for me and one I gave to Nat for her B-sow. And then I brought 2 other ones. And I can't remember what the other 2 were. One sec. They're stored in my little, it used to be a makeup bag, but I decided to swap it and use it for that. So where are they? Oh, that's what I brought. So I love my needle minders from her. She's amazing, because I already had a couple. Yeah, so the ones that I brought was Geralt from the Witcher game, and also Geralt from the new Netflix series, who is played by Henry Cavill. Superman. He's played by Superman. And when I was watching the Netflix series, and he swore for the first time, I was like, oh, Superman swore. Superman swore. It's nice seeing actors doing different things, but yeah, I was just like, love that. My other ones from her are Jamie. I have 2 Jamies. I don't know where my other Jamie one is, but he's topless, so he's probably somewhere. And my other one is from my retreat last year, my Southampton February retreat 2019. So I'll show you my B one when I get to that project. And again, when I brought the needle minder for Claire, again, needle minders can't travel alone, just one, so I did buy a second to go with it, and I brought this horse needle minder. I already had one of her horses. She has 3 on offer, Denkai. So that was the one that I brought, and that's the one that I already had. These haven't been used yet, they're just being stored in my needle minder makeup box. Right, so they were my new starts, and I did work on those. Giraffes and Sunset, that was 3 days worth of work. Middle Earth Map, that was pitiful. It was like, I spent like half an hour a day on it, so that was like 1.5 days. Stitchy sessions. Nikki's stocking has had 11 days in May, and the hot air balloons was 4 days. I could probably pump out them in a day, but I like doing the outline on one day and then the insert on the other day. So they were my new starts. I think I'm like over an hour. Let me get my time. Yeah, I'm already over an hour and I haven't even got into whips. I do apologise. I hope you've drunk your tea and it's not cold, because mine's actually getting quite cold. Sorry about that. My iPad decided to run out of memory. So let's try and wrap this up. Get through the rest. So my next whips. So get into whips. Next one was because obviously playing Myth and Magic Stitch Wars, needed to get some big blocks of colour. And in one of my other challenges, I think I needed to do like 300 stitches in black. So I pulled out KLT Charting Team Presley Penguin. The last time you saw him, he had the outline of the black. Part of it was filled in. I've now finished the black, and he's actually got eyes now, so a little bit more progress on him. Not a lot. Again, like 300 stitches, so not a lot of progress on that one. Dominic got a bit of work. Obviously, when I last did the video, it was halfway through April, and I was in the Patterns by the Cross Stitch Studio. They were doing a 30 minutes a day challenge, so you had to work on one of their whips, one of their charts, for 30 minutes a day every day in April. So I did, and I've managed to get half a page done on him. Again, not a lot of progress. It was only literally half an hour a day on him, but that's half a page. And I did my first waist knot on that. This is stitched 1/1 full cross on 28 count fabric, and I'm gridding it myself. I've learnt from this, because my Heaven and Earth, the Middle Earth map, I brought pre-gridded, and it's just so much easier. So I think going forward I will just buy pre-gridded fabric, because I can't be dealing with gridding it myself. So that's that one. My next project is my Kaleidoscope B that I am selling with Nat. I will put in a picture of what it will look like and where I was last time. So last time I just had the wing done. I've now got most of his body, his head, and I've started on the other wing, and again I've started parking, and that is my bee needle minder that I got from Lisa. I got 2 and I gave 1 to Nat, and that's PJ. So that's that project. If you notice, I've actually taken everything off the Q snaps this time. I thought it's easier to show, it's just a pain to get them off and on. last project that I worked on, which was a prompt for Gridlocked, and that was to work on black fabric. I think it was like 50 stitches or 100 stitches on black fabric. So I decided to pull out, because this worked for another one as well in semi-sane stitches. It was Nerdapalooza, work on something that's nerdy. So I pulled out To Rule Them All by Circus Stitches, and last time you saw it I got some of the words done. I've now finished the words that I was working on, so I've now finished the darkness and I've finished them, so still not a huge lot of progress. This is stitched 1/1 full cross on 25 count, and if you watch Claire Seaside Stitches' latest video, you will see she shows a finish of her project of this. So she has finished hers. This is using DMC Etoile on C725. And that is everything that I've worked on in the last 2 months. So quite a bit done. My plans going forward are going to be to get as much done as I can on the stocking to try and get that finished. I will be working on the hot air balloons to make sure they're ready for the release dates. I don't know if I'll be able to get finished by my next video, which hopefully will be in 4 weeks. Hopefully. I'll have the majority of a stocking complete, if not fully finished. I doubt it. It will be finished, but look at that. Right. Should we get onto haul? Because in my last video I said, oh, because of everything that's going on, I didn't want to spend too much. Yeah, that sort of went out the window for April, May. And I didn't make up for what I missed, but I did buy quite a bit. So the first thing I brought was this. It is a floss buddy from Bags Plus, and when I saw this I just fell in love with the fabric, and I was just like, yeah, I don't care what it is, I just want that fabric. So I mean, look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. It holds 64 bobbins. It's got a little clip so you can hang like a scissor fob or something like that, and it also has space for a pen highlighter. Oh yeah, no, I saw that and I absolutely fell in love with this fabric. I absolutely fell in love with it. And when I brought this, it came with a little bit of it came with a freebie. She'd thrown in a freebie, so you got this little floss buddy. It was just random. That she posted up on Facebook, this is what she was doing. I didn't see that, so when I got my floss buddy and this little flip came with it, I was just like, oh, somebody must have missed it. So I messaged her and I said, oh, I've received my order, thank you very much, I absolutely love it, but there was a flip in there and I just wanted to make sure that somebody wasn't missing there for their order. And she said, no, it's a promotion that she's running at the moment, whichever order you got a free flip. So I got this hedgehog one, and it's absolutely adorable. I mean, in my last video I said that I was obsessed with hedgehogs because I absolutely, I just love them. And this arrived. It was just like, oh my god, it couldn't be more well timed. So, as you can see, I've already put a couple of blue flosses in there, and that is because this is going to be used for my Spirit Guide hedgehog that I am considering restarting, because the only black fabric that I had when I started it was that 25 count even weave, and if I continue stitching on it, then it's going to be absolutely tiny. I mean, I've only put one thread in it, and although I really like how it looks, I don't even know which way up this is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be that way. I mean, that's going to be the size of it. So I brought some black Ada 16 count that's big enough for any of the spirit guides that I've currently got in my stash, so if I decide not to do it on the hedgehog one, at least I can use it on something else. But I did also buy 16 count just black Ada. So I'm in two minds whether or not to restyle or just do something else. So brought that. I then brought my mother's Christmas present that I'm not 100% sure that I'm actually going to have time to stitch, but we'll wait and see. And that is, it's called 3 of a Kind. It's a Bothy Threads Rendale designed by Hannah Dale, and it's koalas. My mum went to Australia a couple of years ago for her birthday, and she got to hold a koala and she just fell in love with them. So I am doing this for her for Christmas, if I have time. It comes with 14 count Ada in that splatter. Again, you know I don't like 14 count, so I've pulled out some hand dyed fabric that I had in my stash. This is Midas by Chromatic Alchemy, and it's 18 count. I thought it's a nice pale yellow. I thought that would look quite nice on there. So that will get started. I'm doing all my work colleagues first, and then we'll work on the family ones. I brought 24 of these project bags. I got them from Amazon. It was like £13, and 24 for that. I was like, yep, buying that. So everything is now in these project bags. Everything is now in these project bags. So, this arrived in one of the Royal Mail. We wrote, open your package, we're so sorry. When this got posted on one of the buy and sell pages at a bargain price, I was just like, yeah, I'm having that. I love Disney, it's a Disney Dreams. I was like, yeah, I don't care. The only thing is, it doesn't come with the fabric, but I've got loads of 18 count fabric in my stash, so I'm not fussed. So yeah, it's a full kit apart from the fabric. It has been opened because the fabric's been taken out. It is the Disney Dreams Collection Beauty and the Beast. And I just couldn't say no. When this popped up, I was just like, yeah, no. Beauty and the Beast is not my favourite Disney movie, but I love it. I love this. It will get stitched, and it will go into, I'm pretty sure I will have a Disney wall at some point, because Maleficent will go up there. So yeah, Disney wall. I'm gonna have a Disney wall Claire Seaside Stitches said she's going to have a Tolkien wall. I love that idea. I've got the Middle Earth map that can go in there to rule them all. I'm basically copying her, so I really hope she doesn't mind, because she's also done a couple of the Heaven and Earth ones, which is like Gandalf, A Light in the Dark, and the Ranger. I also have these in my stash to start. Nowhere near starting them, but I love them. It was the first movie that me and Daryl watched together. It's basically our whole relationship, so it means a lot to both of us, so that is a potential that we are going to do. So, my monthly stash stuff from KLT arrived. The threads have all been bobbinated and gone, but my March limited edition Sherbet Fizz arrived. Beautiful orange. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. And I went on because she has in stock fabric that I raid, and when I was doing an order for some threads for the stocking, I had a quick look to see if there was anything on there, and of course there was, and there was some 18 count February limited edition Hugs and Kisses, which is pinks and whites. I'm not normally a pink person, but you never know. You came across a chart that would be perfect for that, but you don't have pink, so it's just like, yeah. Then that was March's. April's not yet arrived, but she sent the threads out ahead of time to make sure that I had them. And again, checked the website. There was this. I actively tried to get other people to buy it before I did, because Lou says, Angelic Minxie Moo says her favourite colourway of Kim's hand-dyed fabric is Pompey Tides. So when I saw this, I said, Lou, look, Pompey Tides. I gave it 2 weeks, it was still there. It was, well, so I brought it. It was there for, I tried to get other people to buy it. It was there for 2 weeks after I first saw it, after it first got posted. So I bought it. It's Pompey Tides. The grey's not as dark, but it's pretty true to colour. And as the mystery item for that was for May, April, might have been April, was just some white Ada. So I've got some of that. Always handy to have in your stash. That was it. The March mystery item was you get to choose 2 PDF charts of your choice up to a value of £9.50. It took a while for me to choose which ones I wanted. I've now picked them. They came through this morning, so I will put up a picture of which ones I chose. Horse Spirit Guide, I'm pretty sure, was one of them, and the other one was West Highland White Terrier in words. And I'm planning to do the Westie in words as a memorial for my old dog Millie, who died. It was a while ago. She died a long time ago, but I still miss her every day because she was my first proper pet. She was mine, so she's been through a lot. We went through a lot together, so there was that. I ordered a needle minder at the Southampton retreat this year, which I got, if I can get into it, because she wraps it so well. Just rip over the bubble wrap. So there we go. And this one, the Southampton Cross Stitch Retreat 2020. They're happy that I got my one of those. My last purchase, physical purchase, the rest of charts, was some needles. DMC have discontinued, as far as I'm aware, the size 28 count needles. So I decided to try and find a different brand. People rave about Bowen needles, so I thought, oh, I found some on Amazon, and I brought them. And just a little pack there, size 28. These are amazing. They're so smooth when they go through the fabric. The eye is a little bit small, but it's size 28. There are small needles, so yeah, I would highly recommend those. I think I'm now going to be using those needles going forward. They are a little bit more expensive, but I think worth it. My only other things that I have brought are PDF charts, because in the last few months Heaven and Earth have had a sale. When I partook in the Cross Stitch Studio 30 minutes a day challenge, you got a voucher to get a chart for £10 or $10, sorry. So the chart that I chose for completing that is called Fairy Tale Cottage. It's artwork by Abraham Hunter, and this chart is huge, absolutely huge. It's the biggest one that I have in my stash, and I don't think I realised it when I brought it. But I decided that all the charts that I stitch are all generally animal based, wildlife based, so I thought I'd decide to go out of my comfort zone a little bit and do a scenic sort of chart. So that's why I chose this one. Yes, I know it has like a horse-drawn carriage and it has some ducks and things like that, but that's not the main focus of the chart. So I picked that one. It's huge, 979 by 737. Huge. I've seen a couple of people started stitching this in the group, and it is beautiful. It really is beautiful, but it's just absolutely huge. It's 144 pages. So if I have any chance of finishing that in my lifetime, I am going to need to start it soon, and probably have to do it 10 stitch, so it just takes less time. So I've got that. I did purchase 2 more charts from her as well. The first one is called Humility. Again, the artwork's by Abraham Hunter, and it's a lion. I'm hoping to put pictures in somewhere so you can see. This was before I decided that I was going to do like a scenic one, and at the same time I then brought White-tailed Deer. Again, Abraham Hunter is the artist. I seem to like his style of art, and again this one's quite a big chart, so whether or not I'll ever get around to doing any of these is another thing, but I like to have the fact that it's there. The only other ones I have started, or that I brought, again, I said in the Heaven and Earth they've had a couple of sales in the last few months. I did buy 5 charts in the last 2 sales. So, first one I brought, so I brought 2 and then 3. No, 3 then 2. 3 then 2. So I brought Asleep by the Sea by Ruth Sanderson, Asleep on the Farm, another one by Ruth Sanderson. Again, ponies, horses, love them. And then the third one I brought was Dinosaurs Museum by Jan Patrick Cranzy. I apologise murdering the name. Because we wanted one, my other half and I love dinosaurs. So we thought we'd get that because there hasn't been that many dinosaur charts out there that were not childish. So we brought that one. Then the next sale comes along and I was just like, well, no, I brought charts in the last sale, I'm not buying any more charts. Then somebody posted in the Facebook group, I've just brought this, and they brought like 3 dinosaur charts, and I was just like, I didn't see these the last time I was buying charts. Yeah, it turns out that they had been released like a week before the sale. I don't know why I missed these. So I had a look through them all. The artist, David Penfold, he's actually a local artist to me. I live in Hampshire on the south coast in the UK. He is from Hampshire, so he's either from Andover or somewhere else. It begins with A, which is in Hampshire, which isn't a million miles away. It's like 50 miles north. Not that far at all. Probably not, yeah. So I saw that. I thought, he's a local artist. I really like his dinosaurs. I showed them to Daryl. I showed the ones that they'd charted, showed them to Daryl. I said, pick one. And he chose the Brachiosaurus, which surprised me a little bit. Because his favourite and my favourite are the Triceratops, but I also love the T-Rex, and he likes the Spinosaurus. Well, there was a T-Rex one, which he didn't choose. There was some raptor ones, and there was also a fight between a Stegosaurus and I think a T-Rex. So he chose the Brachiosaurus one. Fine, if that's the one you want, I brought that. So I brought that one, and then the other one that I purchased was the North American Mammals by Ciro Marchetti. The reason I brought this one was because where we play Red Dead and you get to... It's a game. I do not condone animal violence or anything like this, but it's just a game on the PlayStation that we play. You get to ride around, shoot people, shoot animals, things like that. All the animals based in this chart we have played and seen in Red Dead. So I see that chart and I just think Red Dead Redemption. I just know it. I just see that and it just brings back those memories, because Red Dead Redemption, again, was... Daryl got me into that game. Years ago. Daryl got me into that game. He was playing it on his PlayStation. He let me do a couple of missions and I just fell in love. So that was the first game that I ever fully 100% completed, apart from the Pokemon games. All the other games I got bored, I wasn't playing, I just got bored and I didn't like it, but this one was the first one that I actually 100% completed on my own. So it just holds sentimental value. So when I saw this, I said, I just got to get it. I really do need it. So that, I believe, is all my purchases from the last 2 months. Going forward, there will probably be very limited purchases. I am planning to join the Stitch from Stash from July onwards, because they do it in 2 6 monthly things. So they do January to June and then July to December. I'm planning to partake in the July to December, mostly because I don't think I'll have the money going forward to keep buying all this stuff. Which I am more than happy with, in all honesty, because exciting times. So going forward, snow domes, stocking, hot air balloons, and whatever else are prompts in Gridlocked or in any of the other challenges that I am partaking in. Right, this has been a very long video and I do apologise, and if you were stuck with me this long, then thank you very, very much for watching, for not minding me waffle on for a very long time. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully it won't be another 2 months before I get a video done. I hope you are all staying well, keeping yourself sane, and stitching up a storm. Stay safe. Thank you. Bye.